Hello, I'm Adam. This is my blog. I've done a few things this week. One was I finally got my paycheck, so I went out and bought one of the things I was meaning to get for a while, mostly because it makes it so I can practice my instrument without disturbing anyone in the house, which I'm slightly self-conscious about it. It's something called a mute, except it's a special type of mute that's called a practice mute. It's this big. It goes in the bridge of my instrument. Here's my violin. It goes on here, and it makes it sound a lot quieter, so nobody can hear me playing. Or actually, I can still be heard, but I'm not as loud. One guy who suggested this to me said it saved his marriage, because he practices a lot more than I do, and by making it softer, you can play and not annoy the company inside your house, which is one of the things I'm slightly concerned about. So if all goes well, that means I get to actually practice more, because my self-conscious level will be lower than before. Let's see. Another thing I did this week was I had the second time of tutoring a person who's my boss's daughter, which is kind of, well, it's interesting because I get to review old concepts, which from my point of view is quite simple, but the funny thing is the concept we reviewed last time was one that I missed in my class because I was being pulled out to be removed from special ed because I was doing very well and I didn't actually need to be in it. I have a lot of stories like that. Which is kind of funny, all we really was talking about this time around was slope, which is, well, slope is the change in x over the change in y, or something like that. Or over x, see. Yeah, it's the change of y over x. You're moving up or down y and left or right in x. And that's how you calculate it. I finally figured out one of the animation softwares I have, so I can actually, in theory, do keyframes. Minimum, what I can currently do is I can do one frame, the next frame, the next frame, which is nice, but the tutorials I've watched online showed me that you have your beginning, and then you have your end, and then you put everything in there, which you know, well, if you study animation, you know that there are several things, like at the beginning, you don't just go straight from point A to point B, you have a path, because people do not move straight, mostly because in moving, your body has to bend, and as such, your shape changes as well. So, you have your paths that your body makes, and you have the physics aspect of it, which is you have your delayed reaction, and you have your settling reaction, which the body in motion, or stays in motion, you have the body at rest, stays at rest, and you have to start, or you speed up and you slow down, which is part of physics. But in animation, what you're trying to do is draw out things moving, and as such, you have your physical aspect. Though it's not calculated mathematically, it can be, and which is why certain flash animations work quite well with basic engines, which is why you can do computer animation a lot easier. I do have a computer animation just on my computer for 3D, and with engines you could probably do that, but I do not have enough experience in that. In learning about animation, I was told that I should learn how to do a few things first, like one is draw, and I've been practicing my drawing in a little sketchbook, though I have a few other things in here that I needed. One of the things I've been more concentrating on was more backgrounds, so instead of people, which found other things to work with, and other scenes like that. Drawing things like this is from my doctor's office. I believe I showed this before on my YouTube videos. A church, which is oh yeah, that reminds me. Going back to the original subject at hand, I need a new camera because I cannot use all the buttons except for like 3, which is I have the on-off button. I have the button that presses the turning on or off the record, and the button that goes from camera to video camera mode. So that's the function in my camera that I'm currently using. I have another one, but the battery is terrible for it, which is why I need to get a better camera. I may actually have the funds to get it now, but I was planning to use the money for something else like a new coat, because mine is slowly dying, or quickly dying now. There's several that seem to be starting to pop, and I need to get that replaced. I even need to buy one, which by my estimation costs about $60 to $50, unless of course I find something like this at Goodwill, at which point I might be able to just find something, just alter it, which alterations cost some, but I do it myself, so it's not too expensive. Or I could actually attempt to sew my own coat, but there are issues with that as well. Though if I could actually make a blueprint design of a coat and find a seamstress, which I actually know or one exists, I should be able to just have her make the coat I want, out of the material I want, in the design that I want, that fits my dimensions, and also has the extra stuff that is needed. But that I have to sit down and design it. Like, I have the design in my head, but, you know. Aside from that, oh, it's raining, or it rained. I'm not quite sure, I can't hear it currently, but it's been pouring again. We may have flooding like we did before, a couple of weeks ago, I don't know. But yeah. Well, that's all I have to report. Bye.